Hey guys, so this week's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm trying out something brand new here on our channel. I had originally planned to film a day in the life video this week, but things have just gotten away from me. Our week is just jam-packed, a little bit crazy, and I honestly could not figure out a day that I could devote entirely to filming. And so instead, I'm going to do a week at a glance video. And now this is something I've seen some other YouTube mamas do, and I just really enjoy watching these type of videos. Basically, what I'm going to do is a little bit more informal vlog style video where I just take you along every day this week and share certain moments in our life, in our family that are going on, and just kind of give you our week at a glance. Now, some of this is going to be homeschool, some of it will be homemaking. I might share a recipe or show you a project that I'm working on, but just take you along for some of the moments of our week this week. So to get things started, it is Monday afternoon and we just completed all of our morning homeschool work. We have been working through Gather Round Homeschool's Africa unit, and it has just been so great. And I wanted to share a book in particular, one we just finished this morning. This is A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. This is a middle school chapter book. You can see it's not very long. It is a very easy read, and I would say it is appropriate for upper elementary school all the way up through high school. This book was very eye-opening for my kids, and it ripped my heart in two. I feel like we have been changed by reading this book, by experiencing life through someone else's shoes, just seeing how people struggle day in and day out for clean, fresh, safe drinking water. And I'm just going to warn you, if you read this book, you will be convicted. You will have a call to action to respond and to support ministries and projects in Africa and other countries where people do not have access to clean water. Anyways, that was a really long rant, all just to say we have absolutely enjoyed this book. Cannot recommend it enough. I will put a link down in the description box. Okay, so I'm gonna go get lunch started and get my kids plugged in front of Mr. Rogers, and I want to take you guys upstairs to see a project I've been working on. I am in the midst of painting. This is something I've been working at little by little for the last few days. That's how projects get done in our house, is 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. I don't always have a big chunk of time where I can just devote to do a project start to finish. So I have been working at cutting in all of the paint in this room for the last few days, and I am changing this room from a blue color to a neutral color. Now I know some of you are going to ask about paint colors, so I'll just go ahead and share. This is Sherwin-Williams paint Sand Dune. All right, so why the paint change? Well, we're swapping bedrooms again. This will be the third or fourth time we have done this since we moved into the house. If you have a big family or have several children, maybe you can relate to this. I feel like we are always tweaking and just trying to figure out the best sleeping arrangement. Which child sleeps best with who is sharing a room, and why. It feels very fluid, and like it just changes a lot. So we are switching things around again, and the room that I'm currently sitting in, this is now going to be the baby's room. Now, I know Ezra's going to be 3 in a couple of weeks. He's not technically a baby, but I call my 2 youngest children, Ava, who is 1, and Ezra, who's going to be 3, the babies. And they are going to be sharing this room. And honestly, I'm changing it to a neutral for a couple of different reasons. Number 1, a boy and a girl are going to be sharing it. Number 2, I don't trust that this change is going to last forever. We can't seem to nail down the right configuration, and so I am just kind of painting bedrooms neutral so that if we need to make a swap, I don't have to paint pink walls something else because a boy is suddenly moving into what used to be a girl's room. So I'm really excited to kind of see the big transformation of this room. Hopefully it'll take me less than a half hour because that's about all the time I have left in Mr. Rogers. So to my absolute delight, we are having yet another snow day today. We got a few inches of snow overnight and it's freezing outside. The kids went ahead and had some online gym classes this morning and did some school, and now we are just spending our afternoon out back playing in the snow. We got some ice as well, so the snow is super crunchy. You can almost walk on top of it. So the kids are having fun pulling the babies around on top of the snow. I don't know how long we'll be out here though. It is really cold. It was only 2 degrees this morning, so the babies in particular won't last very long, and neither will I. So it is a new day and it's actually late afternoon. The kids are outside playing in the snow again, and the babies are up in their bedroom playing with toys with the baby gate. So I have a few minutes here before we have to do dinner, where I am working on printing out a new unit from Gather Round. As I've talked about before here on my channel, we like to use the history themed mini units in the afternoons with my older kids. And so we just finished up the government unit this week, and so now we are ready to move into a new world, and this is the US History 1 mini unit. We do this about 2 afternoons per week, so we go through these units really slowly and just take our time. We've really enjoyed them so far. So today is a printing day. I am just working on pulling up all of the files that I downloaded from the Gather Round website, and I'm going to just print them downstairs on the printer in the basement. So as I'm printing this, I am going to print out 1 copy of the teacher's guide for myself. I'm also going to do 2 copies of the upper elementary school pages for my 6th and my 7th grader. We prefer to use the upper elementary school pages versus the middle school pages right now. I'm also going to go ahead and print out coloring pages for my early reader, Mariah, who is in 1st grade. She does not always participate in our extra mini units like this, but I like to have the coloring pages available for her if she does want to sit in and listen. I'm also going to print out a copy of those for my toddler, Ezra. A lot of times he's napping in the afternoons when we do our history or our government studies, but again, I just like to have them on hand, and in worst case, I just have some extra coloring pages for him to do outside of our Gather Round time. All right, so I hope you guys can hear me over top of the printer. I will talk about this more when I do a plan and prep video for this unit, for the US History 1 unit. But as I am printing these, I'm also going to go ahead and 3-hole punch them. This is just my favorite 3-hole punch. It's kind of a heavy duty one. You can do 40 pages at a time. I am not going to get fancy with binding these. These are just going to go in 3-ring binders. I'm just doing, good old-fashioned notebooks, super simple, super easy. And I have found that this is the most durable way to do units for my kids, and it's actually the fastest and the easiest way for us to do them. So I'm just going to print and go ahead and prep all of these notebooks tonight and hopefully go to bed early because I am tired. All right, so it is Thursday night dinner. It's been a very long day. We got all of our homeschool done this morning and this afternoon. The kids are running around finishing up all of their chores because yet again, it is snowing outside, and so they want to try to hurry up and get outside and play in the snow before dinner. Let me tell you about the disaster that happened today. So earlier this morning, Ezra and Ava were playing in their new bedroom that I had the baby gate up at the door. I have baby proofing on their dresser, on their closet, so they can't get into anything and make too big of a mess. Well, Ezra, smart cookie that he is, busted through the baby proofing, somehow got into the closet and got the dirty clothes hamper out and dumped it all over the floor, and then emptied the closet and dresser of all of its clean clothing and mixed it all together. So now I have several loads of laundry to catch up on because I don't know what's clean and what's dirty. So that's been my day. Needless to say, I need a fast and simple dinner this evening, so I am going to do an Instant Pot meal. This is actually a meal I mentioned in my video last week about meal planning and my Costco haul. This is ham and potato and green bean stew. All right, I hope you guys can still see what I've got going on here. First of all, I just have ham from Costco. This is that big boneless ham that I bought. I took half of it and chunked it up into bite-sized pizzas. These are about, I don't know, a ½ inch cubes, something like that. I also have a small onion that, again, I just rough chopped. It's really big pieces here. All of this is going into the Instant Pot. Along with that, I have 2 pounds of just these really small potatoes. These are great. I love these, just boiling these whole and eating them just like this. You don't have to peel them or anything. So about 2.5 pounds of potatoes going right into the Instant Pot. Now, normally I would throw a bag of frozen green beans into the Instant Pot as well, but I'm out of frozen green beans. So I'm going to omit those and use canned green beans at the end of the recipe. You're also going to need an entire stick of butter. This is the most important part of the recipe, most important ingredient on the list, a whole stick of butter. And then top everything off with an entire box of chicken stock or chicken broth, bone broth, whatever you like, but a whole 4 cups of broth. Now, you're going to want to liberally salt and pepper this recipe, otherwise it will just be flavorless stew. I don't measure salt and pepper, I just do it to taste, but just trust me, it's gonna take a lot. The biggest thing to notice here is that you want to make sure all of your potatoes are down underneath of your liquid, so you might need to stir it around or push them down just a little bit to make sure of that. All right, so I'm just going to put my lid on. Make sure it's set to sealing. I'm going to hit pressure cook, and I'm going to cook this for 8 minutes on high pressure. The steam, I always throw a tea towel over top. I just feel like it's a little safer that way. The Instant Pot just finished releasing steam, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the lid. And oh my gosh, it smells so good. Now, like I said earlier, normally I would have put an entire frozen bag of green beans into the pot before I cooked it, but I'm out of frozen green beans. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cans of just regular green beans, cut green beans, in here now that it's done cooking. And this liquid in here is hot enough that this will heat these through pretty much immediately. As you can see, this is just delicious looking. These potatoes are nice and soft, and while burning my fingers. And then I just threw the green beans in. We will top this with more salt and pepper and maybe even some more butter. Okay, so while that was cooking, I went ahead and chopped up some more vegetables for our veggie tray. This is something we keep in the refrigerator all the time and serve with most of our meals. So I'm going to serve the stew in bowls alongside of these vegetables. And then I also had a loaf of homemade bread in the freezer that I let thaw out today. So we will just make this into big chunks, serve this alongside of butter with vegetables and nice big bowls of stew. Okay guys, well that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this week at a glance video. There's a lot packed into this week. I shared a book recommendation, a room that I was painting, all kinds of gather round information, as well as this really awesome recipe and a lot of time out in the snow. So if you did enjoy this video, please take a second and give it a thumbs up and like it down below. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and leave me a comment. Doing all of these things, liking, subscribing, commenting, they really help our channel here to grow on YouTube. Well, I hope that you guys are having a great week. See you later.